Hello my lovely, welcome to a monthly video where I review how the journal and planner system that I created at the beginning of the year is going, what's working, what's not working, what I'm liking and disliking. That way I can give you some ideas on how to use your journal and planner if you're trying to create a system. Plus, I share some tips along the way if you're trying to journal more consistently. And if you're trying to create a journal and planner system, make sure to watch my other video next where I guide you through how to think through and create a system that works for you. If you're ready, let's just jump right in. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Seppi and I share with you simple and practical tips to live a happier life, and I love sharing my love of journaling and planning because it helps me create a more intentional life. The first thing we're going to review is my planner. If you see my previous video, then you know that I have been using the Hobonichi Cousin as my planner, and it is only a functional planner instead of combining planning and daily journaling like I did last year, and I am still really loving my system this month as well. What I really wanted to still do is to incorporate simple decorative elements in the planner because I still enjoy having aesthetic spreads, as you can see here and you will see in my daily spreads. So that's been something that I've continued to do and I still enjoy very much. And if you want tips on simple ways to create a beautiful page in your journal or planner, make sure to watch my last video because I share with you some of the tips I've picked up along the way. So overall, I have still been loving my planner system, my weekly spreads. The same formula applies. I've been doing the same thing, keeping it simple while adding some decorative elements, my to-do list on the side. Now I've been doing some meal ideas. Every single day I track my workouts and my steps. That way I get a glance of it, like as I get an overview of it in one shot. If there's any specific appointments or any specific things happening, I incorporate it. So it's quite minimal in terms of my weekly spread, and that's the way that I like it because it's a functional planner, like I said, while incorporating some aesthetic elements. Another thing that I love is that I like knowing that I have a space dedicated to organizing my life, which in turn helps me organize my brain. It is a lot easier and more straightforward because I was very clear from the get-go on the use for my Hobonichi Cousin for my planner going into the new year, because I did sit down to think things through and update my journal and planner system. And I feel as though having taken the time to actually think it through before just jumping into it really helps me a lot. And now I feel a lot more joy and a lot less stressful to actually use my journal and planner system. So I would really encourage you to do the same. If you feel like you're struggling with your system or you can't keep up, then maybe it's time to rethink it. Because if you know exactly what you're using your planner for or your journal for, it becomes a lot more straightforward when you want to reach for it. One small change that I made in my Hobonichi Cousin, something that I added, was at the beginning of the month, there's always a blank page, and I got these stickers from the Coffee Monsters Co., which are very cute, but then this page kind of goes to waste. I know some people set their goals here or do like a little bit of a vision board, but I use my bullet journal for my goals. So what I decided to do is to have life admin tasks that I can write out on this page. That way throughout the month, I can refer back to this and try and remember that there's some specific things that I need to get done. It's kind of like a brain dump, but just for specific life administrative tasks, like specific bills I have to pay or calling the lawyer or gathering documents for my taxes. So I find that this is very helpful as a one place where I have all the things that I have to get done for my life. Another thing that I have really been loving, and has been a change, because usually I would have a habits tracker in my bullet journal, but I found that it became very tedious to create a new habits tracker every single month, and that I would end up not making one. So it's always important to reflect on what's working, what's not working. If you're not keeping up with something, then you have to rethink whether A, it's still relevant to you, B, if you want to change it, and see how you want to change it to make it easier to do. So for me, the habits tracker and the bullet journal, I wasn't doing it anymore because setting it up every single month felt really daunting. So instead I decided I'm going to move it over into this page because I didn't have a use for it last year, and I have been really loving using the yearly overview pages in the Hobonichi Cousin for my habits, as you can see here. That way when I'm doing my planning, it's easier for me to just flip back, look back at my habits, check them off, etc. So this is something that I really have been enjoying as a use for my yearly overview. Overall, that's my update on my Hobonichi Cousin. Still loving it. These tabs are still helping a lot and it's going really good. So if you watch my planner system video, I did share with you my thought process in separating my Hobonichi Cousin from the daily journaling. And this little guy, the B6 Leuchtturm lined journal in the lavender color, I believe it's called, has been my new daily journal, and it is dedicated only to my daily journaling. One thing that I have decided to do is that every single month I'm going to try a new fountain pen color. So I have quite a few fountain pens and quite a few inks that I like to try out. And to make sure that I'm making use of them, I decided every single month I'm going to keep one color. That way, when I look back at the end of the year, when I look back, I can see exactly what month of the year I was journaling. So this is this month's ink, and I really love it a lot. It is, my sister lent it to me, and I also got a date stamper. That has been really fun because it makes me feel like a little librarian. But overall, I'm still really enjoying this journal a lot. I still enjoy the size a lot, and I'm really happy that I separated my planner and my daily journal. I also highly recommend this size for journaling. This is smaller than the A5. This is a B6 size, and it just feels a lot less daunting to fill up a page, or even if I just fill up a little bit, it just feels a lot less overwhelming to fill up a page in full. So I highly recommend, if you're looking for a daily journal, the B6 size and the Leuchtturm line journal is really a great purchase. And I am a brand ambassador for Leuchtturm, so if you want to get 20% off the Leuchtturm Canada website, you can use code HAPPY20 at checkout to get 20% off if you want to grab the same journal or any other stationery from their website. I will leave more of the information in the description box. The next journal in my lineup is my bullet journal, and I use it for a mix of goals planning and my creativity. This month I didn't write as many specific goals. So usually at the beginning of the month I do a monthly spread, and then I set goals and I set intentions. This month I only set intentions because I have already a clear vision for my goals for the year, because I reflect a lot, and setting intentions for the month like I did here was sufficient for me to be clear on the few goals that I have. But I do think that I like the idea of setting more clear goals so that I can track it throughout the month, like reading 2 new books or trying out new recipes like I did in the past month. So let me just show you quickly the January spread so I can show you. So here I had my intentions and my goals, but this one I just did intentions. So I will be setting more specific goals in the month ahead, because I do enjoy getting a little bit more specific and tracking it. I have still been making a lot of these creative spreads, so I love tracking my good memories throughout the month, even if it's small little moments, and having a little printer to print these small moments and having a visual what I'm talking about has been super fun. Highly recommend investing a little printer. I use the Canon IV2, and it's on sticker paper, so I've been loving that as well. So I have also been continuing using my stationery, so using all the washi tape that I have, the fountain pen that I have. So that has been a really great way for me to use up the things that I have instead of buying more. That way I can use up some of the stuff that I've had for a really long time. And I've been doing a lot more of these creative spreads in my journal, which I really have been enjoying a lot. So overall, those are the pages from February, and I'm still loving my bullet journal, and I've really loved that I've been keeping up with it in this month and this year so far. It feels really satisfying. I'm already at page 63, so I think I'm like almost at a third of the way through in this journal, which feels really satisfying to see all these filled up pages with good memories and stuff. So still loving my bullet journal. And like I said, I have used the A5 medium dot grid journal from Leuchtturm, and this is my first year using the actual bullet journal, and I do recommend it over the regular one just because the paper feels a lot more luxurious and better quality and can handle a lot more, including fountain pens and sticking things through. So I do recommend the bullet journal as well, specifically the bullet journal brand from Leuchtturm. I won't spend too much time on this, but because I've mentioned it before, I do want to bring it up. This is my second bullet journal that I have been using mainly for my business, because I like to write things down before going digital. Although I do enjoy having a journal just dedicated to my business, it isn't very structured like my other bullet journal where I have my monthly spread, my monthly goals, etc. And I have to say, I don't always reach for this specific journal. I do use it especially when I have a new idea, that I write it down first here and then I move it into my computer. I do need to have a better system to organize my ideas and projects for my business, because I use a mix of analog and digital, and that can become a little bit confusing. I have my own file management system on my laptop, which is quite organized. I also tried using Notion as well in terms of tracking ideas and, you know, links and stuff and what I've done or not done in a specific project. But I still haven't found my sweet spot in terms of how I want to organize things for my business when it comes to like my weekly planning, let's say, or my monthly planning. But for now, I'm keeping it as is. Like I said, I still like being able, the tactile ability to write things down or writing a weekly to-do list, which I have been doing here, as you can see. So for now, it's going to stay as is until I decide otherwise. So next we have my traveler's notebook. This is mostly a creative journal dedicated to traveling spreads, coffee shop spreads, and my reading journal. I have seen recently other people using the Passport site for their reading journal, and I'm kind of tempted to get one because you can just put one book review per page, which I like, but I also don't want to add more journals and get overwhelmed. So for now, I'm going to stick to it. I have 3 inserts in this TN. The first one is for traveling, the second one is for my books, and the third one is for coffee reviews. My travel one, I wanted to backfill it with some of my previous trips, but this is still blank because it just feels overwhelming to go through all the pictures. This might be a vacation project for me to ironically sit down if I have like a few days off and I'm at home to fill this up, but for now it's empty. The second insert that I have is the dot grid one, the Midori one, and this is for my reading journal. I've added some of these fun stickers that I have, and I have to say I really enjoy having a book review journal, even though it's quite short and I kept it quite minimalist. I love the idea of doing like different vision boards or, you know, writing quotes or having more commentary on the characters in the book. I also don't have the time for it, so this is a minimalist version of a reading journal. And so far, I've already read quite a few books in January and February, which is really fun. And it's just really nice to be able to see what I've read. I created this really, really simple template, very minimalist, and I actually created a digital version of this minimalist book journal. And it's on my Etsy shop if you're interested and you use GoodNotes or you use a tablet for your reading journal. If you want something super minimalist, I created the same version of it. And the last thing in my TN are coffee shop reviews, which is a fun idea, but I haven't really done it and I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with it. So that's to be determined as well. It's a fun idea where I wanted to kind of create like a fun spread inspired by coffee shops that I go to, because I like to go to new coffee shops in Montreal where I live. But like I said, I haven't kept up with it. As you can see, I have a picture of this one coffee shop. I need to create a spread for it. I have this one as well that I need to create another spread for it, and I just haven't. Not sure why. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep up with it, but for now I'm going to try. But this is why it's really important to kind of reflect with time how you're doing and whether you're keeping up with something or not. Your journal and planner system should support your life and make it fun and make better. If you're not doing it or if it feels overwhelming, then maybe it's time to rethink and let go of an idea that you had and kind of not do it anymore. So that's how I feel about my TN, if I'm honest with you. To be determined. For now, status quo, but I will maybe in the middle of the year, my Teko Kaigi, have to rethink how I'm going to be using it and moving forward. Last but not least, we have the Change Journal from Leuchtturm, which I'm still enjoying. Even though I do enjoy it, I don't reach for it every single day, but when I do, I enjoy it a lot because it gives a lot of structure and prompts in less than 10 minutes for you to make different changes in your life based on different methods of self-optimization and personal development. This is why I think it's important to be intentional when you're creating a system, to ask yourself whether you will realistically have time to keep up with all the journals and spreads that you have in mind. For example, even though I love the idea of this journal, I don't reach for it all the time. I've completed maybe 2 or 3 of the sections so far, and there's like 24 of them. And I love the idea of my TN coffee shop reviews. However, I don't find I have the time to do either of them consistently. So I prioritize my good memories and my bullet journal and making general creative spreads for me to just tune out and just channel my creativity. However, I do still enjoy having a bit more of a structured journal because it's so different from what I'm used to doing. I generally create my own journal prompts, which I also have on my Etsy shop, but I just create my own journal prompts and reflect on my own, have my own goal setting system that I follow. So this is quite different for me. So overall, I still want to continue using it because I still think it's valuable, and I still want to do a review of the Change Journal for you. That way you can see if maybe this is something that you would want to consider as an easy way to start journaling in a very structured kind of way. So let me know if you're interested in seeing that video or not. Let me know what's in your journal and planner lineup and how you're using each of them. I am also going to be starting a live journaling series on my YouTube channel, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. I will schedule the live sessions a few days before, and they will also be saved in my lives portion of my YouTube channel. So if you want to go back and watch previous live journaling sessions where I walk you through different journal prompts, my goal is to make it short and sweet for you to just be able to practice journaling in a very short way to see how effective it can be, even if you're journaling for 10, 15, or 20 minutes. It's going to be short sessions where I walk you through different prompts around different themes. The first one is going to be about reflecting on the past month and setting goals and intentions for the month ahead. So make sure to keep an eye out for those live journaling sessions on my channel as well. Subscribe to my channel, that way you are notified whenever they go live. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you a lot of love. Bye for now.